You've covered a lot of ground. And before I start pulling threads together, I want to honor something. This first module asked more of you than you might have expected. We didn't start with techniques. We didn't jump into questions or listening skills. We started with you, who you are, how you show up, what you carry into every session, whether you mean to or not. That's harder work than learning a framework. And you did it. So before I summarize anything, I want you to do something for me. Take a breath and honestly ask yourself a few questions. Out of everything we covered, what's sticking with you right now? What surprised you? Where did you find yourself thinking, oh, I thought I already understood that, but maybe I don't? Those moments of discomfort, that's where learning lies. Don't rush past it. Sit there for a second. All right, let's talk about where we've been. The first competency, demonstrates ethical practice, covers a lot of ground. We talked about showing up with personal integrity, about being sensitive to your clients' identities, environments, experiences, values, and beliefs, about using language that's appropriate for them, not just what's comfortable for you. We dug into the ICF Code of Ethics. We explored what confidentiality actually requires and where the limits are. We talked about knowing your lane, where coaching ends and where therapy, consulting, or other support needs to begin. And here's what ties all of it together. You don't get to be one person in your sessions and a different person everywhere else. Consistency isn't optional. Your clients are trusting someone. Make sure that someone is actually who you are. Now, the second competency embodies a coaching mindset, goes even deeper. This isn't a skill you perform. It's something you cultivate, something you become. We started with recognizing that your client is responsible for their own life, not you. Then we talked about your commitment to ongoing learning, staying current, staying humble, keeping your edge sharp. We explored reflective practice, the discipline of examining your own work, not just doing it. We spent real time on bias awareness, the assumptions and filters you bring into the room, whether you want to or not. We talked about using yourself as an instrument, your intuition, your awareness in service of your client. We covered managing your own emotions so they don't hijack the session, taking care of your well-being so you can actually be present. And we ended with nurturing openness and curiosity, staying available even when things get uncomfortable. Here's what connects all of it. This competency isn't about checking boxes. It's about transformation, your transformation. The coach you're becoming determines the coaching you can offer. This competency isn't about checking boxes. It's about transformation. Your transformation. The coach you're becoming determines the coaching you can offer. Now, if you're familiar with the previous version of the ICF competencies, I want to highlight what shifted in 2025. There's new guidance around technology, how we navigate digital platforms and virtual coaching with competence. The focus on recognizing bias got deeper and more explicit. Well-being expanded. It's not just about avoiding burnout anymore. It's about honoring your whole self, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. And there are two entirely new markers. One focuses on nurturing openness and curiosity, making it an intentional practice, not just a nice to have. The other addresses influence awareness, understanding how you impact your clients, and being thoughtful about that power. These additions matter. They're ICF responding to what's happening in our profession right now. So here's something I want you to really hear. These first two competencies, ethics and mindset, they're not just the opening act. They're not the warm-up before the real coaching skills. They're the foundation. Every single thing we build from here rests on what you developed in this module. And I'll be honest with you, this is deeply personal work. You can't outsource your integrity. You can't skip past your blind spots. You have to do the hard internal work that nobody else sees. And here's what I've learned after 20 plus years in this profession. You'll come back to these competencies again and again. I have coaches who revisit this material years later and tell me, Cherie, I'm seeing things I completely missed the first time. That's not because they weren't paying attention. It's because they grew and now they can see more. So let me say something directly. Don't rush past this. I know foundation work isn't glamorous. I know you might be eager to get to presence or listening or powerful questions. I get it. But here's what happens when coaches skip these fundamentals. They hit walls later in sessions, in certification, in their own development, and they don't always know why. The depth you develop here, it determines the height you can reach later. So bookmark this module. Come back when you feel uncertain, when something in your practice feels off. This is where you ground yourself again. Let me leave you with the essentials. From everything we covered in Competency 1, show up with consistency, not just when it's convenient, not just when someone's watching. Every single interaction. From everything we covered in Competency 2, commit to your own evolution. Reflect on your work. Face your biases. Stay curious. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. You've built something important here. And there's more work ahead, reflection prompts to complete, concepts to practice, growth edges to explore. You've earned a moment to acknowledge what you've done. And then we keep going. In the next video, we'll talk about what's next and how to carry this forward.